Hey, what's up everyone? It's your boy Natalie here with a brand new video. And this is a video I've been trying to make for a while, but and I was trying to I was trying to use a new editing software, and that just wasn't working on my computer. So I'm going back to the old way, and if you guys recommend a good editing software, please do. So leave a comment because the last one I tried to edit it and have like an intro and an outro and cuts and pictures and stuff, but it just didn't work out. And like this is probably like my eighth time trying to record this because, again, like just that editing software was fucking awful. But today I'm gonna be talking about like comics and manga, like different types of comics and manga, different versions of them, and kind of just comparing them side by side. And honestly, I'm not gonna say which one's better, just because in my opinion they're both equal. Like because they're both like different mediums, I guess you want to call it, but because they're just different, so it's kind of hard to compare. Yeah, is it? Because they have some similarities, but they're also like they have a lot of differences as well. So like it's kind of hard to compare some things about it, but like I'm gonna be showing off like just the basic uh, standard issue and volume of manga and comics. Now this is actually a variant cover, but what I will be talking about in this video, and then that this is pretty much both standard sizes and stuff, trim sizes, and like as you can see, like the manga has a lot more pages in it. Like I think like the average manga is like what, like 150 to 200 pages, while I think comics it's like 25, if that. But again, like the comics have a larger trim size, and they also provide a lot of color to the artwork. So, you know, wow, most manga don't really have color, or if they do, it's very limited. Like this is One Piece, and it's all black and white and stuff. But again, there's always different. There's always like exceptions because there are some manga or manhwa. It's like the Korean ones that do have a lot of color in it. Like so I know like Solo Leveling, that's like a Korean one, I think, right? That like that one is all in color, and then there's even some comics like like not a lot, but there's some comics that don't have color in them or have very limited color in them. And I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I heard something. But yeah, so like the sizes are a little bit different in terms of the trim size. Like that these like the taller and a little bit wider, but these aren't as big but they have a lot more content in them. If that makes sense. But it's also a little bit easier. I feel like I mean I just want to say easier just because I do think that obviously like it is hard to do art like on that level that a lot of them do. So I do think obviously both take a lot of talent, but it definitely saves some time and actually a lot of money if you don't have to print out the color. Wow. With comics, like like obviously they have to hire some people to go color in the pages, and then like it costs a little bit more. Like wow, the standard issue of comics again it varies based off of the publisher. Like I know Marvel and DC are a little bit more expensive, like a couple of dollars more expensive than like Boom or Image Studios, just because they're bigger publishers, I guess. Which I'm not a big fan of. And like even with manga, there is a little bit of a difference too because with manga, like you got like Fizz and then like Fizz Signature, which that those are a little bit bigger, and like a couple dollars more. Which comics, which manga is like the standard issue is a little bit more expensive, like a few dollars more expensive than an issue of comics, but like it balances out because it's like you get the content with the manga, but you also get the artwork and the full colored pages of the comics. So again, like price ranges can vary based off of like what publisher, like what studio you're buying from. Because if you're doing like a first signature, or is like I think even like in Dancer and there was a couple more that like sell that are like $12, $13 compared to the $9.99 standard issue of comics. Wow, I mean of manga. Wow, like Marvel and DC, I think they're like $5 or $6. Wow, like Boom or Image, a lot of the times it's like $2 or $3. You know, so it just depends on like who you buy it from. If you're just looking for a standard issue, and it depends. Yeah, it like there's a lot. Like I know Solo Leveling because again like a bigger trim size. Like that one has a bigger trim size to it, and it's also full in color. I think that one's like $20 to buy if you want to buy a volume of that. So keep that in mind when you're buying, because because I don't know. I kind of wish it was more universal, but I also kind of get it though, because it's like different sizes require different, like more money, like more or less money. And also that's one thing I would say about the paper quality too. Like I think the paper quality for comics is a little bit better because uh, now like if you do leave it out in the sun or the heat, the color will fade away. And with but and I think that manga it almost uses like the newspaper paper. Like seriously, I know like the old comic books used to do that too. Like it had like the newspaper paper. Yeah, that's what I call it. Like I forget the like official name of it, but it's like the newspaper paper. If that makes sense. But like if you let that be exposed to the sun, it yellows like a lot. And like I have a few manga that have yellowed, and I have a couple comics that like really the color faded a little bit, and that makes like really, the color faded away. And then next up is kind of just like different fusions or different I guess like different fusions of it of each. So like again, as I was talking about, like the first signature type of box, where it is a little bit, like it's not really like a special edition, but like the trim size is bigger and stuff. So this is what I was talking about, and this is Beastars. It's that like this is a pretty well known series, I would say. And then also like I guess these would technically be graphic novels, because I wouldn't really call them like straight paperbacks, but like I guess yes, I guess then there'd be more of like a graphic novel of comics, like Creep Show. Like this is technically a graphic novel, which again it's got a larger trim size and it's got a little bit more pages. Like a couple more, like not a lot more. And then you also got something like Thanos' Crust, which it's about the same size as like like a normal trim size, but it's a little bit thicker. So like, I guess it's technically like a graphic novel, but like I don't really consider it like a graphic novel, like especially if it's something like this, like But that's just me personally. And like you also like got some hardcovers of books, of comics and manga. So this is like the last Ronin, and that again, like as you can see, like better quality of paper. That's I love, and like just better overall. Which I love hardcovers because it's I just love them overall. And then of course I buried my like hardcover manga, but like if you compare these two, like again, like that this is a little bit bigger than like the average like manga size, but as you can see, like compared to like like a hardcover of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like it's still not as big, but it's still like quite a few series still like the hardcovers I've noticed, like not too many, but a few. And I actually again like I love hardcovers. I would say that's probably my favorite way to collect a series is through like a hardcover. And then that takes me to the last point, and that's actually almost so it's like the omnibuses, or like the thick the bigger ones. So like this one is the Blues, which most, and actually this one also came with one. Most comic omnibuses come with a dust jacket, which I actually love because like but what's I actually take off like when I'm reading a book, because it just makes it a pain in the ass like to have the dust jacket on like I read them. But great like these are fairly expensive because like for the most part, they're very expensive. Like and just because like again they're full of color, like it's expensive to get the color in, and also like like I mean like I would say the paper quality is a little bit better, but there's not too much of a difference. At least to me, I've never even noticed a difference. Like there might be small differences between like the omnibus paper and like the paper you get in like a standard issue, but if it is, it's probably pretty small. And then like you also got like the Pursuit omnibus, which this one's also a hardcover. And the thing I like about some of these, especially like the ones that Dark Horse do, that that Dark Horse does, is that like they put like a little like bookmark for you, which is very nice, which is awesome. And it's again like the paper quality I would say, and like this is definitely I think like it feels better than like the average smart like it doesn't feel like it's like a newspaper quality. Like it feels a little bit better, and like like you could tell, and like these ones aren't as expensive as the comic omnibuses. Like these are still $50, so like like obviously like it's still a little bit pricey, but it's not as bad as like the comic omnibuses where most of them are over $100, and that's obviously those websites nowadays we could get discount. It's like a really sell below the retail price, which I love. So so it's like how light stuff, which is the big one, and for manga and anime and stuff. Like like on there you could buy this for like 35 or something like that. And then there's a place I look to buy about comics called Organic Price Points, which they actually sell this I think for a couple of dollars cheaper, but yeah, they sell a lot of this like comics for like 40% off, which is nice instead of spending like like 130, you're spending like 60. So it's really nice, and again, just like look around to see what you like. And actually, that's one thing I want you guys to comment on which one you prefer, comics or manga, and like what types of manga and comics do you guys prefer? Do you guys prefer like the single volumes or issues, or do you guys like trade paperbacks? Do you guys like graphic novels? Do you guys like omnibuses, like the hardcover omnibuses, or do you guys like softcover omnibuses? Because they sell that. I think I have an example of that. Oh, there you go. So like this is like an omnibus. So this is like a 2-in-1, and but it's a soft cover, which again like can make it convenient because it saves like it would save you a couple of dollars I guess if it was gonna be hardcover, but but yeah, up to you guys like what's like you prefer, and again just comment and also subscribe, like, share with your friends please, because like it would be cool if like I grew this channel a little bit. So it's like, please comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and until next time, peace out.